The email hit my inbox like a punch to the gut. Family reunion in Santorini, the mandatory. All caps, 3 exclamation marks, and my mom's name flashing at the top like a siren. I froze at my desk, the morning light spilling through the flat small window and bath, the steam from my tea curling up in lazy loops. My name is Evelyn Hart, 28 years old, an accountant who clawed her way out of a family where money was power and affection came with a receipt. That single email, glowing cheerful blue on my laptop, dragged me straight back into the web I'd spent years escaping. /////. Growing up in Canterbury, we looked like the perfect suburban family, polished cars, polished smiles, and an immaculate front lawn. Dad ran a local dealership, all handshakes and charm. Mom had been an event planner, a woman who could turn a birthday tea into a magazine spread. From the outside, we were success wrapped in satin. But inside that house, the walls whispered tension. I could tell by the way Mom's voice would drop when a card got declined at dinner, or how Dad's smile turned brittle whenever bills came through the letterbox. I was 10 when I realized our wealth was a show built on debt and denial. By the time I hit 15, I'd mastered reading the numbers they never wanted to face: overdrafts, late fees, the silent panic that lived in our kitchen drawers with the unopened mail. When they divorced, the facade crumbled spectacularly. Mom blamed Dad's affair, Dad blamed her spending. The truth was uglier: 3 mortgages, a dealership about to collapse, and a family that traded truth for appearances. Dad wanted me in sales to help the business recover. Mom demanded I study law to make her look respectable. I chose accounting because numbers, at least, didn't lie. Studying in Bristol, I worked evenings at a cafe, tutoring on weekends, clawing for every tuition payment. By the time I graduated, exhausted and debt-ridden, I'd built the one thing our family never managed: self-respect. My first job at a mid-sized firm felt like oxygen. My 1-bedroom flat in Bath, second-hand furniture, creaky windows, but fully mine, became a fortress. I made rules: no debt, no lies, no lending money I couldn't gift. Dr. Hughes, my therapist, used to say, financial boundaries are emotional boundaries. I believed her. It cost me arguments, Mom called me cold, Dad sneered that I was tight-fisted. But I didn't care. For once, I slept without panic. Then came that email. Healing family trip to Santorini, 5-star resort. Let's make memories, Evie. The subject line sparkled with guilt-dipped glitter. I scrolled down to see every cliché: turquoise beaches, infinity pools, family bonding. I wanted to believe she'd changed. But deep down, I knew better. My family never planned holidays, they staged performances. And I was always the unwilling financier. Within hours, a group chat bloomed: Santorini 2025, let's go. Mom had added everyone: Dad, my brother Oliver and his wife, Aunt Grace, cousins Henry and Chloe. Messages poured in, links to villas, yacht rentals, spa bookings. Evie will love this, Mom wrote repeatedly, tagging me in plans I'd never agreed to. My reply was cautious: looks fun, but let's discuss budget first. No response. Just more pictures, more emojis, more assumptions. That night, I called Oliver. He sounded cheerful until I told him I hadn't committed. Wait, Mom said it was your idea, he blurted. She told us you insisted we all go. My stomach dropped. She'd done it again, rewritten reality. The next morning, a shared drive appeared, luxury itineraries, invoices, and an empty expenses tab titled Evelyn's Trip Tracker. My blood ran cold. I messaged the group again, please clarify cost per person. Silence. Then Mum's text, dripping with disdain, if you're struggling, darling, maybe skip this one. Skip? On a trip I never agreed to fund? I was shaking with disbelief. That evening, she scheduled a family Zoom call to finalize details. The call was chaos, laughter, spa debates, menus. Every time I mentioned costs, Mum deflected with a patronizing chuckle. Flights are about £900, darling. If that's too much, just say so. Her tone sweetened poison. I forced a polite smile. Thank you, noted. She smirked, thinking she'd won. That night, I drafted a message declining the trip. I never sent it. Sleep first, I thought. That hesitation saved me, because by dawn, my phone lit up with notifications that would change everything. £18,000. Charged. From British Airways. Business class tickets, booked under Mr. and Mrs. Hart, Oliver Hart, and Rebecca Hart. My card. My name. My account. I felt my throat close. I called my credit card company from the stairwell at work. These are unauthorized transactions, I said, voice steady only by habit. The woman on the line confirmed, tickets purchased that morning, confirmation emails sent, all marked as read. Someone had hacked my email, used my saved payment method. Then my phone buzzed again. Mum. Thank you for the generous gift, sweetheart. Your father's back will appreciate the upgrade. I nearly dropped the phone. This wasn't confusion. This was calculated theft. I filed the fraud report immediately. The bank froze the charges, launched an investigation. Then I phoned the airline myself. Cancel every ticket purchased under those names. Effective immediately. I changed every password, set up two-factor verification, took screenshots of everything. When I texted Mum, you used my card. I've reported it. Never again. She replied within seconds. Don't be dramatic. You agreed to this on Zoom. Why are you embarrassing me? Gaslighting. Classic. By lunchtime, my voicemail was full. Dad pleading for family unity. Aunt Grace talking about respecting elders. Oliver's confused voice saying, Mum's crying. What's happening? I ignored them all. That evening, I pulled into my building's car park and froze. Dad's silver Jaguar was there, gleaming under the streetlight. He leaned against the bonnet like a scene from my childhood, suave, confident, smiling. Evie, we need to talk. Why are you here? I asked. He waved it off. Your mum gave me your address. She's devastated. This ticket thing's a misunderstanding. There's no misunderstanding, I said. She stole my card. He sighed. She thought you'd agreed. You're doing well. Family helps family. That's not help. It's fraud. His smile faltered. After everything we've done for you? You'd rather destroy this family than pay for a holiday? My phone was already recording when I asked, "Did you know she used my card?" He hesitated. Then quietly, we discussed it. She assumed you'd say yes, once it was done. There it was, proof. Cold and perfect. 2 days later, an email arrived titled Emergency Family Meeting. Aunt Grace's lake house in the Cotswolds. All must attend. Against every instinct, I went. Oliver begged me to. "I'll back you up," he said. When I arrived, the room was packed, parents, cousins, even Grandma Elsie, her frail hands shaking around a teacup. Mum stood center stage, eyes red but jaw tight. "Evelyn," she began, voice trembling just enough to look wounded. "Your accusations have hurt us all. This trip was meant to heal." Aunt Grace chimed in, "Your mum worked so hard on this, love." I stared around the room. "I never agreed to pay for anything." Mum cut in, "You said you'd contribute. Everyone heard you." "Then quote me," I said quietly. "What exactly did I say?" The room went still. Nobody spoke. Henry shifted uncomfortably. Finally, Mum sighed. "You've been under stress. Your doctor mentioned memory issues." My heart stopped. "What doctor?" "Sweetheart, we don't need to discuss your health here." Lies. Layered lies. I almost laughed from disbelief. Then Chloe stood. "I believe Evelyn. Last year, Aunt Grace used my card for her son's car repairs and never repaid me." Gasps. Henry followed, voice shaking. "They used mine for the kitchen remodel, £8,000. No repayment." One by one, the stories poured out. Cousins, siblings, each confessing similar family borrowings. Oliver spoke last. "They did it to me too. It nearly wrecked my marriage." Mum's mask cracked. "You ungrateful children. We borrowed for the family." Dad's voice thundered. "This is family, not theft. Keep pushing and you're out." I pulled out my phone and pressed play, his own voice from that night in the car park. "We discussed it. She thought you'd agree once it was done." Silence. Grandma's teacup clinked against the saucer. Mum's face drained of color. Then she stormed out, Dad trailing after her. The meeting dissolved into chaos. Aunt Grace demanded explanations from her husband. My cousins argued about repayment. I sat beside Oliver, numb but oddly light, like air after a storm. The truth had finally been spoken aloud. The next weeks were a blur, reports, forms, closure. My lawyer, Lauren Hale, specialized in family financial abuse. "You have ironclad evidence," she said, sending cease and desist letters to my parents. The harassment ramped up before it stopped, Mum appearing at my office in tears, Dad calling my boss pretending there was an emergency. My firm stood by me. My colleagues shielded me. A week later, Dad appeared at my flat again, envelope in hand. A check for £20,000. "Take it, Evelyn. End this madness." I looked him dead in the eye. "This isn't about money. It's about trust. He ripped the check in half and left without a word. Slowly, the noise faded. The calls dwindled. The guilt began to loosen its claws. Dr. Hughes helped me unravel the conditioning, the reflex to apologize, to fix, to save people who'd never saved me. They taught you guilt, she said gently. You're teaching yourself peace. I joined a support group for financial abuse survivors. There I met Ava and Marcus, both rebuilding from families who'd blurred love and control. Sharing our stories felt like reclaiming breath. By summer, my credit score had recovered, my accounts secured. The Santorini trip came and went without them. I'd see their filtered photos online, brittle smiles under Greek sunsets. For once, I felt nothing. Just distance. Months later, Aunt Grace invited me back to her lake house, this time, no family meeting. Just a small gathering, Oliver, his wife, my cousins who'd finally broken free. We sat by the fire, the lake shimmering silver outside. We played cards, laughed honestly, talked about boundaries and freedom. At midnight, Chloe raised her glass. To saying no, and meaning it. We clinked glasses, the sound soft and final. I realized something then, I hadn't lost a family. I'd shed a performance. I'd gained a truth. Today, I volunteer at a youth center in Bristol, teaching teenagers about budgeting and protecting their finances. When I see their bright, uncertain eyes, I think of my younger self, the girl who thought love meant debt, and silence meant peace. Now, I know better. Love without respect isn't love at all. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do for your family is stop letting them hurt you. // Thank you for listening to my story. It means the world to share it with you. If it moved you, please give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. It helps me keep telling stories like this one. Stay strong and I'll see you in the next one.